Dante.
And hey, I'm Dana.
And welcome to the Dante Show.
What's up, Village? It's your boy Kwame, the man with the plan behind the stands. Before we get into it, do me a favor. If you are on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, or whatever, hit that share button so people can see what the fuss is all about. Don't worry if it's the end of the show. They can catch the replay. We're trying to spread the love instead of spreading the lies, y'all. All right, let's get into it. Did you know that our boy Dante Morrison is a best-selling author? Do you like smut? Yes, smut. Well, these books are filled with it. Check out The End of the Rainbow, followed by the sequel, Yesterday Clarified. You can get them on Amazon, or if you are tired of giving Jeff Bezos the time of day, you can visit www.dantemorrison.com, where, in fact, you will find out more about the motivational, inspirational, hilarious host known as Dante. Mr. Morrison, if you're nasty. He is not only the host of TDS, he is a public health advocate, motivational speaker, and community change agent. Articles, interviews, blogs, podcasts, vlogs, and more. You name it, and Dante has done it. Speaking of vlogs, have you subscribed to the Dante Show YouTube? Now, every villager should be subscribed. The more the channel grows, the bigger TDS messaging becomes. It's really simple. Go to www.youtube.com/Dante Morrison. And also, did you want to be a guest on the Dante Show? Or do you want to book Dante or Dana on your platform? Stop. Don't inbox him, don't email him, or even call him. You know what you need to do? Go ahead and open your handy-dandy smartphone or Wi-Fi enabled device and send an email to info@pyromedianetwork.com and request your presence on the show. It's 2021, y'all, and Dante and Dana has got management. So, let's conduct business. Speaking of management, the Dante Show is produced by Pyro Media Network. We are a Black-owned digital marketing and video production agency helping businesses and brands make an impact with their message. We also help businesses navigate what we call the biggest communication shift in over 500 years, social media. So, if you have a business, brand, or influence, and you want to take it to the next level, contact us today. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we hope to see you on the next. Boom.
Oh, look at it. Okay. Hey, everybody. What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Dante Show. It's Tuesday night, Taco Tuesday, and we are still taco-less. We've been saying we're gonna have tacos for the last 2 years.
We can now.
And we ain't had tacos yet. We're gonna have some tacos. I don't care what nobody says.
Person.
Right. So tonight we got a special show. It is a mashup between the Village and the Tyesse Squad.
Yeah.
We are here to just have conversation and dialogue about a situation that is both. It's a victory on one end, but we don't want to get too excited and forget about the bigger picture on the other end. So please, I'm asking you right now, if you're a part of the Village, which is the Dante Show, get to tag and get to bringing your folks up in here, get everybody you know in for this conversation. If you're part of the Tyesse Squad, you know how big y'all are. Y'all roll deep. So get the other squatters up in here and let's make this happen. So I am Dante Morrison, host of the Dante Show. Right alongside me is my phenomenal co-host, the man with the plan, Dana Dane.
Hey!
That's what you get for trying to make it all about you. So listen, y'all.
The ladies are here. They're here.
They're here. What's up, ladies?
That's what you get.
Y'all gotta be on cue. Y'all gotta be on cue.
That's what you get.
Okay.
That is what you
shut
get.
up, ladies. Shut up.
Right. They delayed.
It's okay though.
I see the squad. I see Rochelle. I see Paul. I see Melanie, Talonda. I see RJ. What's up, Sean? Where you been?
Sean, where you been?
You still lit from your birthday, sis? You still bent back for your birthday? Welcome back.
Sean been in Europe.
Raymond. What's good? Ranil.
The European American.
What's up? Welcome to the Donta Show. We're here. So, we're not going to delay because tonight we want to have a meaty conversation about a serious subject. So, with that being said, we're going to dive into our Black History Spotlight right off the bat. Kwame, let's do that Black History Spotlight. Ba-da-ba! Tonight's Black History Spotlight, we are recognizing Florence Griffith Joyner. Y'all know about Florence Griffith Joyner. She was born in December 1959 in Los Angeles, California, named Florence Dolores Griffith. All right, listen to that. And at the age of 7, she began running, and her gift of speed became apparent. At the age of 14, she won the Jesse Owens National Youth Games. Look, if you're from LA, you know all about the Jesse Owens Park, all right? She later competed for Jordan High School, where she served as the anchor on the relay team and then went on to race at the college level, all right? She attended Cal State University Northridge and then transferred to UCLA, where she quickly earned a reputation as a track star. She became an NCAA champion in 1982 with a victory in the 200-meter event. The following year, she took top spot in the 400-meter event, and then she made her Olympic debut in 1984. I was in the 6th grade, and I remember Flo Jo. I remember it because that's when they were right here in Los Angeles. She won a silver medal for the 200-meter run and became known for her world record speed, form-fitting bodysuits, and 6-inch fingernails. FloJo had them nails. Everybody looking at old girl right now, but we got to remember where it all began, all right? In 1987, she married fellow athlete Al Joyner, the brother of famed athlete Jackie Joyner-Kersee, who is a beast. She won everything she competed in. She selected him to be her coach and trained hard for the 1988 Olympics. That is where she got that shine. In the 88 Summer Olympics held in Seoul, Korea, she took home 3 gold medals in the 4x100 relay and the 100 and 200 meter runs, as well as a silver medal in the 4x400 meter relay. She probably would have got a gold in that, but somebody must have been slow on her team. Right. But then suspicion soon arose regarding how the so-called world's fastest woman achieved her victories. Yes, she was blamed and accused of using performance-enhancing drugs. Go figure that. But she always insisted she never used them, and she never failed a drug test. And in fact, according to CNN, she took and passed 11 drug tests in 1988 alone. She remained involved in athletics in her retirement, and she was appointed to co-chair of the President's Council of Physical Fitness in 1993 and went on to establish her own foundation for children in need. In 1995, she was honored with an induction into the Track and Field Hall of Fame. Joyner died unexpectedly of an epileptic seizure in September of 1998 at her home in Mission Viejo, California. She was only 38 years old and was survived by her husband and their daughter, Mary Joyner. Remarkably, more than 30 years later, Joyner still holds the world records in the 100 and 200 meter events with times of 10.49 seconds and 21.34 seconds, respectively. Village Squad, give it up for the incomparable Florence Griffith Joyner, our Black History Spotlight of tonight. Look at the nails right there. Don't it make you want to sing Weak by Coco in SWV? Look at the hair. Look at that suit. Some of y'all wear that right now to Vons. Y'all put on that same tracksuit and go down to Boys Market and get your loaf of warm meal bread. Y'all wear that same suit. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad. But FloJo is an icon. She is a legend. And that's just for the millennials and the Z generation that thinks, and not take it from Sha'Carri, because Sha'Carri's a beast as well.
A beast.
But I want them to realize that, yeah, we got Sha'Carri, y'all got Sha'Carri, but we have FloJo, and FloJo was the one that we looked at like, yo, that's it right there. The fashion, all that kind of stuff. All right. Real talk. So that is our Black History Spotlight. And then this is when I bow out. And then my partner in crime comes in, motivates, inspires, and encourages you, because it is time for what? It is time for the Dana Drop. Boom.
What's going on, beautiful people? I pray that everyone is in good spirits and good health at this time. Hey, check this out. Make sure you travel over to youtube.com, www.youtube.com/Donta Morrison. Click that subscribe button. We need to get our followers up. We're doing a great job. But I know that we can do better. So tell your friends, tell your loved ones, tell your cousins, tell everybody. Subscribe to this. Some of y'all still getting Avon. Y'all getting that Avon lotion. I shook somebody's hand the other day, smelled my hand. It smelled like Avon lotion. So I know that lady's still getting it. All right. So here we go. A few reasons why you are absolutely beautiful. This goes for women and men. A few reasons why you're absolutely beautiful. Your smile. Your smile is just one of the reasons you are beautiful. It radiates all your warmth, kindness, and love. Whether it's a crooked grin, a mischievous smirk, or a wide, beaming smile, it's just beautiful. And it reveals your inner beauty as well. Never hold back your smiles. And remember that when you smile at someone else, you make their day and you make your own day a little brighter. All right? Your laugh. Your laughter is another reason why you're beautiful. Your laughter is full of joy. It expresses joy as well. It reveals your sense of humor and your love of life. Don't ever hold in your laughter unless it's in an inappropriate place, because we got those people, us as Afro-Americans, some people like to laugh and hit. And hit. I don't like those people. Because see, I'm gonna hit you back. All right? So we're going to be laughing and hitting each other in a restaurant somewhere. All right? Your tears make you beautiful. I never knew that. All of your emotions make you beautiful. And that includes your tears. Don't ever be ashamed of your tears. Crying is just as beautiful as laughter. Even when you're crying because you're heartbroken, hurt, or sad, letting others see you cry can be difficult, but don't hold back. Men, it's not soft to cry. You're not a punk if you cry. I tell my sons all the time, I don't mind if you cry, but make sure you're crying for a specific reason, not because you lost the game, not because you can't have your way. If you hurt yourself, if you're emotional, we forget that children have emotions too, and some of them just get emotional. They may start thinking about life at their young age and may just tear up and be sad. So crying is beautiful. Your kindness, your acts towards others represent many reasons you are beautiful as well. When you're kind towards others, that's a truly beautiful thing. The things you do for other people show the wealth of your heart. Being kind takes so little, and you can do so much in being kind through so many acts, both large and small. Doing that just illuminates the person that you are. And lastly, your love. Your love for others reveals your true beauty. Say that with me again. My love for others reveals my true beauty. Okay? Whether you're showing love to someone special, your family member, your friends, even strangers, let it show. Don't hide it. Don't disguise it. Just get into it and let others see it. Your love is beautiful no matter how you show it. Even if it's tough love. Some of us have kids, some of us have children that need that tough love. But it's beautiful because you're nurturing and you're shaping that child into a respectable person. So that's love. If you didn't love your child, or if you didn't love your younger brother, sister, nieces, nephews, whatever, you wouldn't show them that love. You would just let them fall along the wayside and just go out there being an ass. Excuse me. But that's what it is. So when you show tough love, it's beautiful because then they'll grow up and they'll respect it and they'll respect you. So just remember, no matter how ugly you may think somebody looks on the outside, there's always something beautiful about someone. All right? I just named off a bunch of things. So try looking at people like that. Look at everything in a whole as beauty. All right? And if you don't believe me, let them know how you feel, bro.
Yes.
That's the Dana drop, and I'm out. Peace. Boo!
This in studio stuff has got me.
Yeah, we back. We
Right,
back
listen.
in the studio.
All right, and it's time to bring on Tyesse. Let's get our phenomenal, legendary, favorite guest for the Donta Show. Bring it up, bring it up, bring it up, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. Give it up for Tyesse Jackson.
Let's go.
Hello. Hey.
He goes there. He's going
Okay,
there.
y'all look a little blurry. Y'all to break it up a little bit. Can y'all see me?
We see you
We
just
see
fine.
Okay, y'all a little, it's okay. We're gonna work with it.
We gonna talk through it. We're gonna talk through it. It's gonna clear up.
Yes. Go
Like
ahead.
how
Keep
mine
it
was
rolling.
acting. We both got that Obama camera.
We're gonna say show. You may recall that I did an interview with Jazz on October 7th, 2019, and it was talking about and I'm not sure, but that interview really happened right after something tragic struck the black gay community in Los Angeles. So basically, Ed Buck was a Democratic donor, and he was also a predator, and he preyed upon young black gay men, and used crystal meth as a form to just pull them all in. And today he was convicted. He was convicted on, I think, 9 counts.
9 counts.
9 counts of just federal crimes, all kind of stuff, just the murder, drug use, and having drugs in his home, all that. But Tyesse and I understand that there is more than just one Ed Buck that's out there preying upon young black gay men. And as our internet and Wi-Fi fixes itself and boots back up, we're going to get into this conversation. So Tyesse, I want you to just first start off about how you feel about the conviction of Ed Buck.
Well, I'm glad that there was a conviction. A lot of people were telling me, like, Tyesse, when it comes to white people and doing things to black folks, historically, a lot of people were like, I don't know. Even with the mountain of evidence that was out there, Donta, people still were thinking like, listen, y'all know anything can happen. I was hopeful because I know that the feds don't take any case unless they know they can beat it, unless they know that they can convict somebody. So I was confident in that, but there's always that little piece in the back of your mind, the what if. Because Christopher Darden, they say he was really carrying down at the courthouse. Christopher Darden was the defense attorney, and he was a mess. I'll just say that. A lot of you may remember him from the O.J. Simpson trial that him and Marsha Clark lost. But to give a little backstory into me, my personal backstory, many years ago, 20 plus years ago, 125 pounds ago, I was just like those young boys. You know what I mean? Just like those guys. working, trying to make a living for yourself. And Hollywood is a beast. It really is. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. People see the tourist attractions in the daytime, but once the sun goes down, there's a whole nother element that comes out when the sun goes down. And the thing about survival crimes, survival sex, or whatever you want to call it, sex work, is that most people, if they had a choice, if they had an alternative, Donta, they would use the alternative. Nobody's in kindergarten saying, yeah, I want to be a sex worker in Hollywood when I grow up. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's a complicated narrative, but it's not. I think everybody has been in a place where they were very vulnerable financially.
Right.
Right. And whatever that feeling is, you tap into that. When you don't know what you're gonna do for money, you don't know what you're gonna do for shelter or food. That feeling is what a lot of teenage LGBTQ teenagers and young folks feel out there every day. The uncertainty of shelter and food. And, what happens is that you either, do what you have to do, or you don't eat or you don't starve, And trans women have it even harder because they can't just run and go and get a corporate job or even a job at McDonald's. Trans women and men, they have it doubly hard. So it's a lot to unpack, but I think I just gave you the gist of it, Donta.
And I think I'm so glad you opened the door to just talk about the challenges faced by LGBTQ teens. And we're talking about the teens who are getting kicked out of their homes just because they identify as non-heterosexual, and their families or loved ones can't handle that or can't understand it. So it's like, you just get out. So when you put somebody out on the streets or on the block and they have no skills, and then people are always saying, well, why don't they just go get a job? Well, first of all, a job requires me having a residence and a phone for you to call me to say I got the job. A job requires me being able to wash my uniforms, and all that kind of stuff. A job requires certain skills. And a lot of what people don't realize is we have kids out there on the block that are too young to even get legitimate work. They're not able to even fill out an application at McDonald's or Wendy's because they're too young to work. All they have is their body. All they have is what God gave them to use to survive. And I think when we talk about survival sex, a lot of judgment comes in. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe you out there giving up your body like that. Well, if you have to eat, you're going to do what you got to do, like you just said, Tyesse. So when it comes to this Ed Buck situation, when it comes to Ed Buck and what occurred and the tragedy that happened to Jamel Moore and Timothy Dean, it's something that of course is surprising the masses, but as people who are a part of the Black LGBT community, it's not shocking. So Tyesse, when we think about the Ed Bucks that are still out there running free, what do we do? Because I remember when this first came out, and granted, we went in droves down to West Hollywood to stand in front of Ed Buck's apartment and to rally against it and all this kind of stuff. But what about the Ed Bucks that live right here in the Black community that's doing the same exact thing to young Black gay men?
Right.
And there's plenty of them. There was I have respect for him, because some of the things that he's done in the community. But there was an Ed Buck at the rally with us, and he was, every time the camera was on, he was standing right there, and I'm like, you of all people should just kind of fade in the background. Like, it's some people like girl, like mama, like girl, go in the back, just stand to the side. But you can't make people not advocate for something that they feel passionate about. So, but there are plenty Ed Bucks. There are plenty of Ed Bucks that are running gay organizations here in Los Angeles that trick off grant money with boys. They are regular old, cat daddies and sugar daddies that are manipulating people that are vulnerable, getting them high, giving them old Scooby snack, as we call it. And once you got them high, you can do whatever you want to do. You know, it's that vulnerability of getting someone high, and then when they're out of their mind, then you go in for the, go in for the sexual kill, whatever. So a
Right.
lot of people, a lot of young people to tell you like, I went over to this person's house thinking that, this is going to be like a dad or somebody I could talk to, or,
Yeah.
some of them would tell you like, I went over there just to smoke some weed with him. And, come to find out the blunt got primos in it. They done laced the blunt with rocks. So it is crazy, Dante, the things that I've seen and heard in these 45 years of life. But the thing about it is that we must be clear that Ed Buck is just not the only person in town cutting up.
Yeah, and I think that and just so people can have a better understanding of what exactly Ed Buck did, because I know some folks like, what's, what, everybody get high with somebody, yada yada yada. Ed Buck did more than just get folks high or provide drugs, because half of y'all watching the show right now got your favorite weed man. Let's just keep it 100. But Ed Buck did more than just supply. He not only supplied, he got members of vulnerable populations strung out on crystal meth. I read the case studies that the Jasmine Canic, and shout out to Jasmine Canic for staying on this the entire time. Jasmine Canic did not let up. Jasmine Canic went against Jackie Lacey when Jackie Lacey, who was the district attorney, did not see a problem with what Ed Buck had did, and just Jamel Moore was just, oh well, that's sad and that's unfortunate. But when we were saying, yo, this dude has a meth den that is baiting in young Black gay men. He's getting them strung out on meth, and they're overdosing. Jasmine did not let up, and I think Jasmine is one of the main reasons why Jackie Lacey did not get reelected.
Yes.
Jasmine Canic stayed on that tush and let the people know what was going on, because it was so much corruption, it was so much wrong with the Ed Buck case that some of these other victims and even the death of Timothy Dean could have been avoided if the DA would have jumped in when Jasmine was saying jump in, but that did not happen. So Kwame, go ahead, Tyesse. I'm sorry.
No, but see, Black queer bodies are expendable. No one's going to put those kind of resources into an investigation. It had to take a second death, for some action, because Jamel Moore's death should have been enough.
Yes,
but,
right. Exactly.
The Black body is always expendable. We'll get around to it. And then you add the fact that these are sex workers, these are homeless people. They're not seen as valuable. When I was in Hollywood, Dante, the LAPD, there were several serial killers roaming through Hollywood. And I know for a fact, a lot of the girls that died, girls were found behind trash cans. A lot of girls were dead. The LAPD never put out a bulletin. They never warned anybody. People were just out there fending for themselves. And the Grim Sleeper, I believe he didn't sleep. I really don't believe he slept. I believe that he was doing a lot more than they even know about. But, that's how it is when it comes to Black people. Now, if you're white, you're blue eyes, blonde hair, you're on Good Morning America, you're on CNN, so that's just the how the cookie crumbles.
And that is so true. And I wonder how many people that are watching tonight's show have even heard of the Grim Sleeper.
Wow.
The Grim Sleeper was savage in Los Angeles and just, ran amok throughout LA, taking lives, but he didn't make it to the status of a Ted Bundy or a Jeffrey Dahmer. But his crime spree and murder rate was equivalent,
right?
But that story was not shared. So just so that people can see how Ed Buck looked, Kwame, can you just show a few pictures of Ed Buck so folks can know? So Ed Buck, like I said, was a Democratic donor. He gave to Hillary Clinton's campaign, and most folks is like, oh wow, look at that innocent white gay man. Look at the rainbow flag, bow tie. This man is all about it. And if he's with Hillary, then we know he's all with the people, and he's not going to steer us wrong. This is Ed Buck. This is the man that lured black gay men into his home, got them strung out on meth, or lured them with meth, gave them meth, shot them up while they were passed out. They were passed out in his living room, and he was still doping them up with more crystal meth. Wow. He was taking pictures of their genitalia. He was doing booty bumps with them. For those that don't know what a booty bump is, that is people that get high by using meth and going through your rectal openings. So you will not have needle marks. So Ed Buck, you're looking right now at a predator. This is a predator. Show the most recent picture, Kwame. This is a predator standing next to Hillary Clinton. That is how Ed Buck looks right now. So this man right here had the power and the privilege to lure black gay men into his West Hollywood residence. And if anybody knows about West Hollywood is the hub for the LGBT community here in Los Angeles. So right there in the hub of white gay America, you had this evil presence in his apartment building. It wasn't a private residence. This man had an apartment, and the neighbors in the apartment saw all this activity going on.
I said nothing.
Now imagine if you live in the building with Ed Buck, and one day you're seeing the body of a deceased individual being taken out by the coroners. You're going to be concerned, and you're also going to wonder, why is my neighbor still living there?
Right.
And that was in 2017. In 2019, Timothy Dean died similar to how Jamel Moore died. So for 2 years, this man went unscathed by the law, remained in that residence until another person also OD'd.
And not to say what happened between those two deaths.
Exactly.
And what took place between Jamel and Timothy.
Right. You can take them off now. This is Jamel Moore and Timothy Dean.
Yeah.
I didn't want to show the picture. They have a picture online with the three of them together. I didn't want to have them next to Ed Buck. So this is Jamel Moore. Jamel Moore was 26 when he passed away, and Timothy Dean was 55. These are victims of Ed Buck's. These are the victims. These are the victims.
Wow.
But you know how depraved this man was? You know how depraved this man was, Dante? There's news footage of when the coroner's office was taking the body out, right? There's news footage of it. They were taking the body out. He had already called another boy over. You see the boy coming over. Like, he had no regard for life. He did not. You couldn't do that to someone. Someone is already at the height of high. And you're steady injecting drugs in them to see how far it can go before their heart pops. That's evil. That's sadistic. So this man, it is a good thing he is off the street, because other people would be dead. No doubt.
Yeah. So Tyesse, swinging it back to just members of the Black LGBT community, kids in particular. How have we, Black service organizations, Black churches, older Black gay elders, how have we failed them?
I think that the language and how people see, how the young kids see people operate in the community it explains a lot to them. So, and just the tone of how people talk, you know, when you're coming at somebody that's living on the streets, real recognize real, game recognize game. When you're coming at somebody, they know, okay, this person know a little something about something. But when you're coming at them and you're coming at them like you're at a workshop or this is an Amway meeting, it's like, you know what, girl, get out of my face. Look, I've been there, you know. You have to meet people. You have to meet people on their level. But it's also important, it's very important that people have a reference point or have been through something in their lives. It helps. It's not a requirement. But if you ain't really been through nothing, a lot of people don't have nothing that they can say and relate to the person. It's all about relatability. Look, I've been where you've been. I may not have been exactly where you've been, but I've been where you've been, close to it. So I just want to let you know I know where you're coming from. But when you got people out there scared to touch people, talking to people from their car, not wanting to get out the car, and then you have, organizational predators as well that'll help somebody, bring them in. Then next thing you know, they tell me that's their lover. Huh? Wasn't he a client?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a lot.
And that
So what? Wasn't he a client?
because that happens. That
Mhm.
happens. I mean, these you have these young kids. They're looking for a mentor, a role model, someone they can trust. And then you're right. They go from client to you. Well, you can stay with me, you can live with me, and then you're living. They move in, and it's conditional. And then, believe it or not, they age out when they turn 21. It's like, okay, well,
Yes.
you too old now. You can go out there and you can figure it out on your own.
Right.
Or they age out when they get their own voice. When these young gay kids realize that this is not the healthiest of environments, and you're an old man, and
Exactly.
I have a voice. Well, no, you and your voice can both get out there. You can go, and Dana, I just want you to, so you, as a straight man, I'm sure you don't, you have no understanding fully of what we experience in the LGBT community trying to survive and navigate. And like Tyesse said, some of us have met an Ed Buck in our life. We have met that individual that we felt we can trust, that's going to protect us by any means necessary. They got us. So we all we want is to feel safe. And then later on down the line, through wisdom and experience, we realize we could have been victimized or been killed or died as a result of just trying to survive. So how does this make you feel on the outside looking in?
Well, it doesn't. I mean, I understand it because it happens in the straight community where somebody could do the same thing, help someone on the street. A woman can help another woman on the street. That person doesn't. That the person that's out there is not gay. The helper is gay, and they can try to turn that person out or whatever. So I get it and I understand it. My question was when Tyesse was talking about, it's extra hard for trans because, and I don't know, when they do transition, I know because I have a cousin that transitioned, and I know that he changed his name. And are you legally able to get new identification? I know you have to keep the same social security number, right?
Yeah, everything
new ID.
with your name change and all of that, it is so easy now. Back in the day, you had to really go through a lot of hurdles. But now, especially in a state like California, you can get everything done. You'll be out the door. But the thing about it is that getting the F on your ID or getting the M on your ID is half the battle. You have to go out and do job interviews. And let's just talk about it because every girl doesn't have the same aesthetic, the feminine aesthetic. So you have some girls that are not as, passable as other girls. So you can't tell them, you can't transition because you don't look a certain way. Everybody's entitled to do what they need to do for their well-being, emotional well-being. So at the end of the day, you go through a lot of hurdles as trans women and men out in the workforce when you're just doing a simple interview and you know that they're not going to hire you. You know the energy, the conversation, and you're trying. Everybody's not passable. There are people that are working jobs that are passable, and people at the job don't even know their orientation or identity. So it's like those are great, but they're few and far between. But most people go through hell. Trans people go through hell trying to find gainful employment.
And that was going to be my next question. Would you say it's easier for a trans man? If I'm saying it backwards, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Would it be easier for someone to transition into a man? Then I think it seems like it would be easier.
Let me just say this because I don't want nobody to be inboxing Donta. I'm not trans. I'm not a trans man. I'm not a trans woman. I am a representative of the LGBTQ community. We're not a monolith. I'm just here as a voice, an invited voice. So my perspective is my perspective. So don't inbox Donta talk about, well, you could have had a trans person on, Donta. this is my perspective. No, I'm not trans, but you know, I don't like to do the compare and contrast hardships. I think the whole gamut. We just have it hard as gay people, especially Black gay people. I don't like to do you have it worse? I think when you look at it, you know, just overall, we all struggle really hard to try to make it as queer people of color across the board.
And it upsets me. Yeah, it upsets me because, you know, like I say all the time, people are people. You know, we need to show love, and then. In you all's community, you have that against you, and then you have you're Black. Mm-hmm. So I get it, and I feel sad sometimes because sometimes you can just look at somebody's face and you can just see the hurt and the pain, and you feel that. You know, it's draining. It's draining for me to see.
Let me offer this so people can get a good understanding, because a lot of times people think when they see people homeless on the streets that are gay, that, you know, your family threw you out. That's not always the case. Your family threw you out. Some people left on their own accord because intuitively, sometimes some spaces are just not safe for you spiritually and emotionally. That's how it was for me. Nobody threw me out. I have family that loves me. But some spaces, and Donta can tell you, some spaces are just not safe for you as a gay person, especially in the Black community, emotionally, you know? So some people just venture out and go out there and try to make it on their own. And sometimes that road leads you to, you can get yourself and get a job and go to school, but sometimes that road leads you down another road of survival. So it's like a fork in the road for many people.
Right. Yeah, 100%. Let's do a quick commercial and come back. And Tyson, I got a few more questions for you. So, Kwame, commercial time. Let's go. Be right back. Welcome back to the second half of the Donta Show with our special guest, Tyesse Jackson of the Tyesse Report. We are talking about not only crystal meth, we really haven't talked about crystal meth at all, but we're talking about the victimization of young Black LGBTQ individuals at the hands of, let's just say, white privilege. How about that? But Tyesse, how come we are not holding Black Ed Bucks to the same level of accountability that we held Ed Buck? Why is that not happening? And you kind of touched on it a little bit, but why are we continuing to let the Black Ed Bucks or the Ed Bucks in the hood, why are they still being allowed to get away with it?
Right.
Because they fly under the radar of accountability. A lot of them do. And a lot of them are in the mainstream of Black culture in our communities. Like, they are the heads of organizations, and basically all they do is just award each other with awards. So when you see these people online, oh, he's getting an award. So, oh my God, if he's getting an award, he must be doing something nice. But see, people don't know the backstory. You know, the people that are giving the awards and watching the awards, they're like, oh, okay, this person deserves something. But the people that are in the streets and the people that know these people's backstories say, okay, girl, Miss Thing been out here cutting for years. Why are they giving her an award? She's been out here cutting up for years. So, they fly under the radar. And then when you got, organizations and people giving you awards and, recognition from City Hall or recognition from Sacramento, then people then automatically assume, oh, he's okay. Child, if you only knew.
So do you think that also it ties into the fact that when it comes to Black people and the Black community, we never want to kind of tell on our own? It seems like, the minute a Black person is held, accountable for something, Blacks say they're trying to bring a Black person down. So we got someone like you who is Black. Now, if you really opened the box and rolled out the scroll and started calling out names and whatnot, they would come against you and say, well, look at Tyesse tearing down the Black gay community by exposing all the secrets. What really you're doing is saving lives. And I think that I hear what you're saying, but it's kind of like, well, if I start telling, because you know where the bones are buried, I know where some bones are buried. If we start digging up the bones in first 48 in this whole thing, folks gonna look at us like Donta and Tyesse is just, they're destroying the Black gay community and they're spreading all these lies and yada yada yada. Never mind the fact that the countless victims start coming forth. They start Bill Cosbying it, and they're like, well, yeah, back in 96 or back in 2001, this happened to me by that person. Thank y'all for telling. But we'll be like, why you didn't say nothing back then? Well, I was scared. So not saying that we need to just, release the database, but what really can be done to protect the next generation of LGBTQ youth that may be cycled through these systems that don't protect them fully?
Using your voice and letting these babies know. We really don't have a lot of Mother Roses anymore, Lavernes. You don't have a lot of sage wisdom out there. I had people in my life that would, conversate with me and tell me what was going on, and what to look out for. You don't really have that. What you have now, you have, ballroom mothers and house mothers getting high with their kids. And, you got gay family members sitting around. Nobody's really telling nobody the real. Everything is a kiki and a cackle. So, no one's having hard conversations, Donta. That's the real problem. When me and Ariel were coming up, we had people in our lives that definitely gave us sage wisdom and advice, mentors, mothers, gay mothers. It's really I hate to use the word, but it's really a dying breed now for that type of advice and wisdom. But as far as when you talk about it, then people are saying you're messy. Oh, you're just being messy. You're doing this for clicks. You're just trying to get some views. But the truth of the matter is, if I told what I knew, like Whitney Houston said during that interview with Oprah, what I could say, Donta, was send shockwaves through Los Angeles. But that's not who I am. Now, of course, right, when I do my final Tyesse report and everything's over there, I might just do that, But you have to ask the question, why should it even have to come to that? You know what I mean?
Right.
We all should be working conglomeratively to, smoke out these predators as a community. Right. It shouldn't just be on Donta or Tyesse.
Right. And I think you hit the nail on the head. Hey, DeMario, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said the word predators. And that word that's a serious word, but it's an important word to fully understand, because so many of our youth are being preyed upon. You know, and it's unfortunate because they need safety. They need to feel safe. They need to know they have a space to go where they can just learn about all this. And like you said, get that wisdom poured into them. But instead, you know, everything is so conditional. I'll give you wisdom if you sign this waiver and get this gift card and yada, 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 become part of my numbers. You know, but it's like, what about just helping this individual for the sake of helping them because you know what you've been through and you don't want them to experience that. So it like you said, you know, we're from the same generation, and my growing up experience is totally different than what the kids are going through right now. Totally different. I mean, It was like a whole elders council that had the back of my collar saying, you bet not do this, listen to what I'm telling you. And I took heed to that. But do you think that the younger generation now, do they even want that kind of guidance?
You know, so much time has elapsed and so much has gone on, and they've seen so much. You know, it's hard to bring people back, you know, in the fold when they've seen so much. And I remember one time we were at the Catch One, and there was some function going on, and there was an organization, and there was a lot of kids, and the line was down the damn block, Donta, because they had like young kids signing 1 million sheets. It's like, girl, how are you trying to help somebody and you got people waiting in line, girls sweating their makeup off just to sign 1 million sheets, you know? And then these kids see these same organizations and they're gone. They're not coming back after that. They'll see you next quarter. So it's hard when these kids have seen so much, Donta, to bring them back in the fold. But I think we can do it. Like they say, it may sound cliche, one person at a time.
Right. I agree. And I would, yeah, and I love how you brought up Ariel, because you know the heart that Ariel had, I mean, was a mother. Was I don't care if you were older or younger, Ariel was your mama, you know. And I remember we went out and did Feeding Rainbow. We fed, you know, the homeless gay youth that one night, and Ariel had us down on Skid Row at 11 o'clock at night. We was all over feeding these kids, and that was something for me because I did not know that it was on that level, you know. And she was like, "No, Donta, we only hit one side of town. There's a whole other side that we haven't hit yet. We're going to do that at 2 a.m. I said, oh, Ariel, I'll be sleeping 2 a.m. Now I ain't got no more spaghetti to give. But it was a beautiful night. And I think that there is something to be said about when the community comes together to protect the children.
Yes.
You know, and I look at now, we got idiots like the baby, you know, with that half-baked apology that and I'll let you talk about the apology that he gave. So you got these gay kids in the club dancing to the baby, but then the baby says ignorant stuff like this, but then they go talk to their gay father or whatever about it, and the gay father like, well, let me ease your pain, just come on and sleep with me.
Right. So
it's like these kids are like, well, the straights is calling me this, the older gay man over here is trying to sleep with me, you know, I'm hungry. Where is the safety? Where's the safety out there? So you can tackle the baby first. Go ahead, Tyesse.
You know, there was a time where when I would get tired, like when you get tired in Hollywood, you would go check in the Covenant House. Covenant House was like the Four Seasons for teens, you know. Or you would go to my friend's place and you would, you know, lay down for a month or two. You know, great organization. And that was just a refuge for us, Covenant House. You really don't have a lot of organizations like that, Donta, and you definitely don't have organizations that are centered around Black gay youth that are, you know, full-time drop-in centers where you can, you know, lay down, come in, stay, get yourself together. But what's the other part that you were just asking me?
Just, I mean, when we think about our Black gay, you know, and I have a heart for gay youth. I really do. Yeah. Because I know how it is to be out there and not get the proper guidance and trying to best figure out how to navigate who you really are in a world that is talking about you and dragging you down. You're Black, you're gay, and God forbid you're a woman. Well, not God forbid, but you're a woman, so you're dealing with all these variables that's against you, and you're trying to navigate this. So then you look at celebrities, you look at hip hop artists that you're like, okay, they playing my song, that's my escape. Then you find out the person that recorded your song, your escape, got feel a certain way about you.
Right.
You know, then you go into the church house.
That's what it was. Yeah, the baby. So the baby, when these young gay kids see the baby, I'll be honest with you, they will put it in the back of their mind because it's their favorite song. They like to bop to it. They will ignore a lot, Donta. And as egregious as what he said was, a lot of these kids will accept it. Well, he apologized, ain't he? Okay, well, girl, do you know what he said? He's talking to you. Right. You know, he's degrading you, and he's using coded language. And a lot of times kids, they can't read through the lines, the younger generation. Us older girls, we can decipher through it. But a lot of times, Donta, if it's a bop and he got hits, and girl, he'll be okay. He always saying something. So a lot of times your self-worth and your self-esteem, when it's been beaten down so much, you take a lot. You accept a lot. You know, it's sad, but it's true.
So that same energy, looping back to these organizations, needs to be given to these organizations that are not giving 100% to these young babies. You know, and I wish we could find a way to empower our youth to walk away. You know, and you know what's the saying? Was it Nina Simone? I've learned to leave the table when I'm not being served.
Is no longer being served.
Yeah, and it's like these organizations, like you said, and it sometimes feels like they're pimping our youth, or they're pimping the community for dollars. And it's like, what are you really benefiting? What are you really benefiting? Are you getting any job skills? Are you learning how to write a resume? You know, are you learning how to even tie a tie? What are you getting outside of going to these spaces except a free meal?
And some counseling.
I said it, and I meant what I said. I said that one particular organization is nothing but a social club for men, and all they do is sit around and play board games and screenings of Moonlight. And I meant that. I meant what I said because I've seen it. And you have to ask the question, when have you seen this organization out in the street? When have you seen this organization doing anything? People have said they have went time and time again and didn't get any resources. So you have to ask, you know, maybe an audit is due, you know, so Sacramento can see where their money is going. So LA County can see where their money is going, because people are out here telling you, child, I don't go up there. You can't get nothing from them. You know, they watch, you know, Moonlight every Thursday night and, you know, have card games, and then they fund certain promoters, you know. But other than that, you know, listen, let me stop because I'm digging too much.
Let me just say, if you ever did a tell-all show, it will go viral.
Baby, listen.
Because I'm looking at you right now, and the spirit is saying, "Hold back, daughter. Hold back." You said too much.
I want to lay these people out. I want to lay these people out. Donta, I want to lay these people out so bad, but I would have to move. And I like my little place. You know what I'm saying? I would have to leave. But I like my house. So I would have to move.
And I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying 100%, because it's tiring. You said something on your show last night in regards to the baby and just all the stuff that we keep hearing about the gay community from homophobes. You know, you basically said, leave us alone. We're not bothering y'all. We're not bothering y'all. We're not doing nothing to y'all. Leave us alone. Why are we on the tips of your tongue? Why are we always the center of your conversation? And some of these artists remind me of homophobic pastors, because they know the minute they say something about gays, they're going to get the shout in the church. They're going to get the amens. They're going to get the bigger offering, all that. So it's like, the baby, when you trying to get more likes, trying to get more hoopla, what? And T.I., you jumping into the conversation when you got your own fish to fry at home. What was the point of all of this? But you said it so well last night. Leave us alone. We're not bothering y'all.
The stupid part about it is, if you really think about it, the gay community buys 90% of music, stream a lot of music. So when you bash and stuff like that, you're not doing nothing but messing yourself up.
Well, you should be his publicist.
You know.
But the sad part, if the baby had said white gay men,
oh, that would have been over.
He'd have been shut down. We would have never saw him again.
Nick Cannon went on a Greyhound bus tour. Nick Cannon just, was talking and just saying a few things about, Jewish people. And when I tell you they made him go around town in a van, and everywhere he went, he had to apologize. So, this is a black man, the baby, talking codedly to, gay folks, mainly talking about gay black folks. So nobody cares, it's no big deal.
Yeah, but the minute you talk about the white gay community, GLAAD is gonna have GLAAD is gonna shut you down. Everybody, you're shut down. The whole machine stops. They take notice, and you cease to exist. The baby would have been off of Apple Music. They took his Grammy back. They did everything to silence him. But for some reason, we don't have that same kind of support. And I saw somebody that posted on Twitter, and they basically said black heterosexual men are to black gay men what white racist men are to blacks, because it's so much anger and hatred. And it's like, hey, Brian, it's so much anger and hatred. And it's like, why are you so mad? Why are you so bothered by gay dudes? I don't understand.
Hey,
how do you know what happens in the parking lot? Because the only people that know about that is people that do that in the parking lot. If you know about the study parking lot or the annex parking lot, you would know about that.
Listen, if you know what happens at 2:30 after you leave the catch, then you're well aware of what goes on. But for you to say that from your stage, you leaked out your own business. So it's like, we not bothering nobody. And nope. I always told Dana when we started the show, I said, bruh, you are an enigma. You are a rarity. There are not a lot of cisgender heterosexual black men that would team up with an openly gay black man to do a show. They're just not out there because they're so focused on their brand, their reputation. What's my homeboys gonna think? I don't want to be accused of being. And it's that kind of divide within the black community that needs to stop. It's so old. It's so dated.
It's very immature.
Yeah, and I talk about
people will tell you. And women will tell you that there's something about a man that's secure in his masculinity and his sexuality that is a turn on. Women will tell you that, like, when you see a man and he's very comfortable in who he is, it's a turn on. When you see guys, thou who protest this too much, like the baby and these guys, y'all just, it's something about that. Why are y'all always talking about gay folks? It's like,
and it's not because of Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X don't have that much power.
No.
Lil Nas X is one person, but he's ruffled the feathers of the hip hop community. One person. And you cannot tell me that Lil Nas X is the only gay guy in hip hop. I know that as a fact.
Listen, they said that there was somebody that was going to be exposed, but it never happened. Probably some money exchanged hands. About 3 years ago, there was some big expose that was going to happen, and then it all died down. Everybody was, assuming who they thought it was. Yeah, we was waiting for it, like, oh my God, I think it's Puffy. I think it's this. I think it's this person. And it fizzled down. But let me say this, Donta. I don't think that the baby has a team like that. I really don't. I don't think he has a team. I think he has management. Vultures that are, making money, but I don't think he has a circle either. I don't think he has people that'll tell him, like, dude, look, pump your brakes. You're doing too much. Right. Because if you did, you would pump your brakes.
Right. Yeah. Right. And the apology was trash. His apology was unadulterated trash. He could have kept that apology. all of it. He could have kept it. It actually made it worse. Because he basically said, yeah, I said what I said. The first part, sorry, but I said what I said. Bruh, you made, and to me, you're not big enough for me to care. And I think they were talking about the cancel culture, and it's like, well, first of all, he had to be on for me to cancel him. I can't cancel somebody I never really featured in the first place.
Right.
So exactly. He wasn't one of my fan favorites. I still don't know between the baby and little baby. I'm still trying to figure that all out. So it's nothing to cancel for me, but it's unfortunate that these artists and just people in general are allowed to get away with saying stuff like that in the Black community. But the minute they do it to the white people, and they would never say it about the white community.
Elton John would be on every station right now.
Yeah, we can't even cancel Ellen. And all the stuff that Ellen did, we can't cancel it up.
Like my brother DeMario, he always says this. Like, if you want to get some clicks, you want to get some likes, you want to raise a good offering, just talk about the gays. If you want to get some action, just talk about the gays. And it's like, at what point will y'all just leave us the hell alone? We don't sit around talking about heterosexual sex and stuff. So just, leave us be. Let us be. I hate to sound like a slave.
We don't sit talking about
like a slave. Just let us be.
Right, period. That's real, Tyesse. That's real. All right, so Tyesse, let folks know how they can follow the Tyesse Report.
I am right here on Facebook, Tyesse Jackson. Right here on Facebook, Tyesse Jackson. I am on YouTube now. You can subscribe to my YouTube, The Tyesse Report. I'm on Instagram as well, The Tyesse Report. But you can hit me up right here on Facebook, Tyesse Jackson. Send me a friend request. I'll be glad to add you. Also, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Tyesse Report. Yeah. And I'm right here with I'm a member of Pyro Media, so I am glad to be a Pyro Media family.
Yes. And listen,
let me
just say this.
Legs down.
Let me just say this about Tyesse, y'all. Dana loves Tyesse. Dana loves Tyesse. I love Tyesse because Tyesse, what you probably don't realize is your show is a ministry.
Yes,
it really is. And people look to church to go and get their spiritual edification, all that kind of stuff. But I believe that God works in all kind of ways and uses all kind of people to get the point across. Your show is a ministry. When my father passed away in February, your show was my escape. It was my release. Your show helped me to really deal with the grief that I was going through, the drama with my family. Just tuning in to the Tyesse Report really helped me a lot. And I know that people may go to your show and be like, oh my God, it's so raw. It's so this, it's so that. But one thing you don't do, you don't spread gossip. Everything you talk about is rooted in facts. You have done the research.
It's in scripture. You can find it in the scripture.
It's the word. It is sound doctrine. Everything you talk about on the Tyesse Report has been investigated and validated because there's a lot.
That's right. It's a ministry.
Yeah, there's a lot of shows out there that just talk about what they want to talk about for likes, and this may not be rooted in nothing. But your show really is educating people. It is helping me. It's helping Dana. It's helping a lot of folks that are kind of scared to talk about those subjects that they're squeamish of.
Yeah, because he taught me what Jax was. What the hell is a Jax?
Jacked.
Jax.
Jacked.
So
Jacked.
See, look,
look. Like some people don't know. Some people don't know that there's multiple meanings. Like you can play jacks with the little balls.
Right.
That's playing jacks. But you can also play jacks.
And that's a word. That's the word for the night. So y'all listen, give it up for Tyesse Jackson. Please make sure to follow Tyesse on the Tyesse Report, subscribe, and watch. Are you going live after the show, Tyesse?
No, I'm not. But I will be live. I will be live tomorrow at 12:15. I will be live tomorrow at 12:15, and you can also catch me on the Four Kings on DeMario King Jive's YouTube channel on YouTube. So I'll be live tomorrow at 12:15, but I think I'm going to call it a night because this was a really robust conversation. I don't think nothing can be added to it, Donta.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tyesse. Thank you, Demario. Thank you for chiming in. You know, Demario, I love your show as well. And Village, thank y'all for rocking with us on tonight. Yo, listen, the point of the story is we got to make sure that our LGBTQ youth feel safe and protected, not just within the Black gay community, but within the Black community as a whole. I whoop the word village. I use the word village because we are a village. If you are Black, regardless of who you are sleeping with, who you want to sleep with, who you're looking at, if you are Black, it is our responsibility to protect each other. Your words matter. Your words are your ministry. Your words are your ministry. I don't care what faith system you subscribe to. Your words are your ministry. Use them with wisdom, and let's begin to season each other with salt. So please be safe. And until next week, y'all, know that myself, Dana, and Tyesse, we love y'all. We mean it, and there's nothing you can do about it. So we'll see y'all next Monday right here on Facebook Live and YouTube, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Kwame, take us out.
Peace.